Yeah, and it's really, like, I think of it as, like, a silver lining in our storm of chaos that we're going through right now. I feel like this could be something that really helps pull us out of the hole. And it's perfect for both of us, because both of us are the type of people where we don't like to be managed. We like to be our own boss.
Do you need the list? Do you really need the list?
Probably not. I was going to scratch off, like...
Well, here, it's whatever. It's just sounds. If you want to scratch stuff off the list, that's fine.
No, I'll just do it like this.
Okay. So how you feeling this morning?
I am feeling pretty groggy. Even if I sound somewhat normal, I still feel pretty groggy this morning from taking the melatonin last night because I had that first dose. And it was interesting. It actually did not get me tired until about 5 hours later.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure that's not how it's supposed to work. I think it's supposed to, like, prepare your body for sleep, like, about an hour after you take it.
How many times did you get back up? Was that once or twice?
I got back up once, and then I just stayed up for
I know
like
you
4
had
hours.
I know you had gone to bed, and you had closed the bedroom door, and then I was on my computer, and I heard a noise, and I turned around, and here you came.
Yeah.
Walking out, and you're like, I'm not tired.
Yeah, I couldn't get comfortable. I tried, like, everything that I normally do. I tried thinking about stuff. I tried just, like, staring at the ceiling. I even, when I got up, I even tried drinking a glass of milk, because I've heard that that's supposed to, like, get your body sleepy and stuff, and it just, like, did not work for me. Mm-hmm. I ended up just sitting at the computer and playing House Flipper for like hours.
What time did you go to bed?
Let's see. Originally, I went to bed about 11 something. I had taken the melatonin at about 10:30, and then so about an hour later, I was like, okay, this should start working. And I was starting to kind of feel a little bit tired, and so I went ahead and just lay down. And I guess I laid there for like 20 minutes and just could not sleep, so I got back up. And I didn't end up actually going to bed again until after 3. I don't know exactly what time it was, but it was like after 3, because I remember writing in my journal, and I actually wrote down in my journal that I'm going to just write until I pass out. Because I don't know what to do with myself. And so at some point there, I did pass out. I would say probably about 4 in the morning. So yeah. And then now I'm like extra groggy from it because it lasts about 6 hours, the melatonin. So I'm like, I'm still tired from it.
You seem to have perked up a bit since you had coffee.
Yeah, absolutely.
And half a glass of soda.
Absolutely.
So it's August 11th, and if you're coming new into the podcast and you're just coming off episode 2, it's been a few months since we actually did this. We really enjoyed the podcast, and we were really looking forward to continuing it regularly, and I guess we will be now. But a lot of stuff has happened in the past 3 months? 2 months?
Oh gosh, since May.
The end of May, basically, yeah. So if you were listening to everything else that we were talking about, we're not doing the Mediterranean diet anymore.
Yeah.
We moved. We're in a new place, a new, cheaper place.
It's better. I like it much better.
Yeah, it's better.
The layout is awesome.
Sarah has, again, I'm pretty sure we've mentioned Sarah has multiple sclerosis, and the last place we lived at had a upstairs section, which when we moved in was really awesome and looked great. But over time became more difficult for her to make it up and down the stairs. So now we're on the first floor of an apartment complex.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about it is that it's like hard floor all throughout, but I'm getting used to it. I just wear socks all the time.
Yeah, there was that apartment we very first moved in together.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That was when I was pregnant with Hannah.
Yeah. And you couldn't get used to, like, the smells of it. Like, it was hormones and stuff.
Yeah, it was awful. Oh, my gosh. And that place had hard floor all throughout, and I hated it.
It was very dusty. This place is not as dusty for whatever reason.
No, it's not. It's because before we were in Round Rock, and Round Rock, for whatever reason, is like the dustiest city I've ever been in.
That's true. So, yeah. So what happened?
Oh, okay, we're going there. All right, I guess I'll start at the beginning. So I had a major depressive episode back in the end of May, I guess it was. And it was so strange because things seemed to be going so well. And just all of a sudden, I started having like panic attacks. And during one of my panic attacks, I tried to commit suicide. And I'm sorry, let me just say, disclaimer here. I'm sorry if I don't sound very emotional at this point. This is just how I deal with this type of stuff. I'm not trying to be insensitive or anything. But this is just how my brain processes through what happened.
Sarah gets very scientific about stuff.
I do. I'm very logical when it comes to like crisis type situations.
That's very true.
And so yeah, I tried to commit suicide. I won't go too much into the details of what I actually tried to do, but let's just say, long story short, Philip had to check me into a mental hospital after stopping me from going through with my plan. And so, yeah, I guess I was in there about 2.5 days. And I think I was supposed to be, from what they had told me, I was supposed to be in there for 5 days for monitoring because they were adjusting my medications.
They said most people stay in there like 5 to 7 days, like as a standard.
Yeah, but I lucked out and I was able to get out after 2.5 days. And then I went straight from there into the PHP program, which is partial hospitalization program, is what that stands for. And basically that's where you go to the facility. It's a separate area. And you go to the facility Monday through Friday for 4 hours a day. And that I feel like was really helpful for me. I honestly feel like that helped much more than actual inpatient. And I enjoyed my time there. I was in there for probably about 3 weeks. And then right now I'm currently in the IOP program, which stands for Intensive Outpatient Program. And that one is 3 days a week for 3 hours a day. And I kind of feel like that one was it was helpful. It was good. I like the people that are in there with me. I like my therapist. But at this point, I feel like I am a bit more stable, definitely more stable than I was at the beginning. However, while in the IOP program, I did have a pretty bad manic episode. Just in case you weren't aware, I have bipolar disorder. I had been officially diagnosed with bipolar disorder when going into the outpatient program. And
it's something I didn't really even fully understand what that meant.
Yeah.
Until we had it explained.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's one of those things that you hear about, oh, so-and-so has bipolar, and I think people think that just means like that you're hot-headed or
you have mood swings or whatever.
Yeah, like you're moody, and it's like that's not quite it at all.
That's not it at all. Especially like for me, I have bipolar type 2. And so what that is it's characterized by major depressive episodes that last for a pretty long time. And then instead of having full-blown mania, you have like what's called hypomanic episodes where with mania, you sometimes can have psychotic episodes as well during that time, which is where you see things, hear things, you believe things that aren't true. But with hypomania, there's not any psychotic symptoms with that.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. And for me, hypomania is mostly characterized just by feeling incredibly confident, like I'm invincible. I feel super motivated and very creative, and it can be really good. Like, a lot of people that have hypomania generally enjoy most of the time when they're in that episode, but it can also kind of escalate sometimes. And for me, it was triggered by the medication that I was on. I was taking way too high of a dose of Cymbalta, and my psychiatrist, the psychiatrist at the outpatient facility actually was the one that upped my Cymbalta, and my personal psychiatrist was like, oh my gosh, for someone with bipolar disorder, you should never increase their antidepressant, especially when they're in
and you just found that out yesterday, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, oh, whoops. I guess that's probably what sent me into that. It was pretty bad though. Like, I was pacing around, and the people at the facility had to like stop me and put me in a dark room, not lock me in there or anything, but they had to put me in a dark room and give me a yoga mat to lay on. And I had to do some calming techniques to try and calm myself down. It was pretty bad. I was very uncomfortable.
It sounds uncomfortable.
Yeah. So how do you feel about everything that happened, Phil?
So the way I feel about it is, it's kind of a roller coaster, really. I mean, it was like, from the beginning, oh my gosh, what's going on? Deep concern to like, now just trying to be as supportive as I can.
Thank you for that. That's really helpful.
I love you, so it's not.
Yeah.
It's not as difficult as it might sound to somebody who wasn't in a relationship with somebody. But, just like I see the progress that you're making. It starts to, we find out things like oh, Sarah has MS, or oh, Sarah has, this mental thing.
Yeah.
Then certain events from not just our relationship, but things you've told me about your past when you were a kid or teenager stuff start to like, all the pieces start to fall into place. And it's like, oh. Yeah,
it makes so much sense now looking back at my young adult years.
Right.
I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what it was. I don't know exactly when I developed bipolar disorder. I know it's something that like you're not necessarily born with. You can be born with the tendencies toward it if it runs in your family, but it's something that usually develops after a trauma of some kind. And I don't know, like, I can't really pinpoint exactly when it happened, but just thinking back, I'm like, oh, okay, that was probably a hypomanic episode, or that was a major depressive episode.
Right.
So, and of course, stress can bring it on too. And as I'm not sure if you guys know, I was about to say as you know, but we deal with a ton of stress like on a daily basis with the kids, and Hannah is starting school, and so that is something, she's starting
first grade.
She's starting first grade, but she's starting a new school, and so that brings a little bit of anxiety for me. Just wondering, like, how is this school going to be? Is she going to enjoy it?
Me too, a little bit, because, it was like the mornings where I would take Hannah to school last year. Once you take them once or twice, you know where to go, where to park, where to walk them into. People, you get to know people at the school. Hi, I'm just bringing Hannah to class here, and that kind of thing. And so now it's a new school, new parking.
Yeah, and I went.
The people up the front.
Yeah, and I went and I saw the school for the new family orientation, and it's much smaller than her old school, which is good because it seems like it's going to be easier to navigate. But they really don't want us to walk the kids to class anymore, and that's something that I got used to at Hannah's old school. It's like
that's something that Hannah got used to, and I think she's gonna.
Yeah, and
I'm concerned she's you're gonna walk her in there, and she's gonna.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a helicopter parent still. I've gotten much better about that. But, I I still worry. I worry that she's going to get lost. I worry that she's going to cry. I worry, about so many things. And I need to stop. I need to stop
back
worrying.
up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want her to act like this for the rest of her life. She's got to become
more independent.
She needs to have the realization, because I see it with other things that she does around the house, where she's like, I can't. And I'm like, no, and I show her, here, you can do it. Now do it. And then she'll do it. And then she's, excited that she did something new that she thought she couldn't. So
yeah, and we tell her, good, or at least, we tell her, I was going to say at least I tell her, but that sounds rude. Because that implies that you don't.
I'm not here.
Anyway, I tell her that, I'm proud of her and good job, Hannah. And I make a big deal about it when she does something, even if it's something small, because I want to build confidence in her. And, being a big sister, I'm sure is hard. I wouldn't know because I'm the baby of the family. But I'm sure being a big sister is hard because there's jealousy and stuff. And we're starting to see more of the jealousy come out a little bit. But she's also a really good big sister for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, she loves to help with her little sister. She is always excited to take care of her. And she'll always tell me I love taking care of Haley. And so it makes my heart happy.
Well, she's always telling Haley, come here, let's do this now, and showing her how to play with different toys and stuff. And then, and Haley follows around behind her.
Yeah, exactly. They're super cute together. But I mean, I guess it's a stress that most parents deal with, I guess. So it's not completely exclusive to us. It just makes it hard because not only do we have the stress of being young parents and having small little children, but we also are trying to run our own businesses. I mean, that's tough. And unfortunately, because of all this mental health crap that I've been dealing with, we've had to kind of put our businesses on hold. And
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But don't have that tone. That sounds kind of negative.
Well, no, I don't mean to be negative. I just mean that, it to me, I'm not happy about that, Yeah,
of course.
I wish, I'm the type of person where when I have a project or when I have an idea, I want to do it. And I want to get it done. And I don't like taking long breaks from things. Yeah.
I agree. And we were talking about this last night with so Sarah has, just to recap, it's been so long, I didn't listen to the other two podcasts again, so I don't remember what we've told you guys, and probably right now, most of the people listening to this are people that know us, but Sarah's got a jewelry business.
Yeah.
She also does crocheted items.
It's kind of like an accessory, like a handmade accessory.
Right. And business. Then what I'm trying to get started is my photography business. So we were talking about this last night, that we both spend quite a bit of time on YouTube, and in our different areas of interest, you'll see YouTubers that will make for me it's YouTubers that are and they're right. I'm not arguing against them, but it'll be things like your camera gear doesn't matter, and I get what they're trying to do and I agree with it, that they're trying to get people to understand that if you have a camera and one lens and that's all you can do and all you can use, then you just have to make do with that until you can get more stuff.
Yeah.
But then 5 or 6 videos later, they're so excited to be unboxing this brand new telephoto lens that came out. They're so excited it's going to up their game so much. Everything's going to be so much better. And it feels like it counteracts the other argument. But it doesn't. It's just kind of I want those other lenses too, and I can't get them right now. And I guess it feels like I can't start my thing. And then what you were saying.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that with crafting YouTubers, because I watch their stuff and there'll be a lot of videos that are budget crafts, and I'll show you how to make this stuff from just items that are just laying around your house and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's awesome. But then another episode will be a tour of their craft room, and it's they have an entire store in their house. So it's of course you can make stuff with items just around your house when your house is a store. Right. So
look what I found in my house. It's $150 worth of beads.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like these $20 a piece, Copic markers or whatever. And it's just like, okay, not everyone has that.
Yeah,
not everyone has access to
But we're building
that.
the stuff, and we're trying to keep, as a team, we're trying to keep each other positive about stuff and figure out ways to get stuff promoted. And also for those extras and stuff, we were needing to make more money.
Yeah.
My full-time job. So here's another thing that happened that's been stressing me out. We came up on a situation at the last place that we lived where we had to pay rent. And not only was the rent too much to begin with, but we were over the lease. So we were having to pay like a higher amount of rent.
Yeah.
And the only way that we could get it paid, nobody could loan us the money or anything. So the only way we could pay it was to get a payday loan.
Oh my gosh,
from Speedy Cash, I think it was.
Yes.
And it's rough. Those things are so we're on a podcast. If I was just talking to you guys one on one, I'd be like, "It's a scam. Don't do it." Blah blah whatever. But
it's not really
putting
a scam.
Putting this out. Yeah, like I have to say, it's not a scam. Like we read the document and we knew what it was when we signed it. But the interest is ridiculous.
The interest is outrageous.
So basically, out of every single one of my paychecks, they pull $185.
Yeah.
$185.
That's 2 times a month.
Until sometimes 3.
Sometimes 3, yeah, because it's every 2 weeks.
Right.
$185.
And this doesn't end until like October of this year. Unless we pay it off, and there's like no way to pay it off.
And it's really, really hard on us. Like, I mean, some people may think, oh, that's not too bad. That's kind of like a car payment or whatever. But which, by the way,
I'm behind on a car payment.
We do have a car payment that we're behind on, and so for us, that's really. It's really stressful.
Well, it's not just that though. Like I took out an advance at my work also.
Yeah.
For $1,000. They don't charge interest, so the last paycheck that I got from my job was actually a full paycheck again, but they were pulling $160. So I was losing $160, then $185, then the insurance, then the child support, and it was just
by the
rough.
time we would get your paychecks, it was like not even close to cover our bills, let alone our rent. And it's still kind of, I mean, it's still pushing it.
We did this last rent we were able to pay.
Yes, and that's because we decided to start driving with Uber Eats.
Well, I had started it again. I had started because I did Lyft and Uber both back before the city of Austin ran them out of town.
Yeah.
Don't at me. That is what happened.
Yeah.
But when they came back, I didn't really have a desire to... I just wasn't into it. I didn't want to bus people around the city anymore. So then at this point, now a lot of these, Lyft doesn't have one, but Uber, and then there's like Favor and DoorDash, all these other like delivery services. And I did pizza delivery for like Domino's and Papa John's and all these places. And I even had a delivery job at a sushi restaurant.
Yeah, and you loved
earlier
it.
This year.
Like you like delivery.
I've always loved delivery. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, I'm going to do Uber Eats because I already have an Uber account. I just add the Uber Eats thing, and I did one delivery to test it out. And I made like $7, I think, because I tipped. And then that was on a Saturday, and then the following Tuesday, after my regular job, I told Sarah, I'm gonna flip the Uber Eats app on and see if I can get some deliveries after work. And it popped up and asked me for a background check, and I was like, oh, okay, this is probably one of those things it'll clear by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Or tomorrow. Okay, fine, whatever. So I agree to it. And long story short, I think the explanation was because my account also had the ability to drive people around, it was a longer background check. It took almost a month.
Yeah,
about a month.
Yeah, it did. It was ridiculous.
And so in that time, because I couldn't drive it, Sarah was like, I want to try.
I just out of nowhere was just like, you know what? I want to try it. I've never done delivery before. The last time I've had a real job was like 7 years ago. And, so it's been a while for me. But I decided, you know what? We are low on money. there is no way that we're going to be able to pull ourselves out of this hole if I don't do something. And yeah, I have my jewelry business, but nobody's buying right now. And, so I needed a way to bring in some kind of steady income. And so I told Phil about it, and he was like, okay, just wait till I get off work and then I can go with you and kind of, help you get the hang of it. And I was like, no, I think I'll just go right now.
And not to talk down to Sarah, but just, I've been married to the woman for 5 years. I know how she is. She just over the course of time, she didn't want to make phone calls. She didn't want to call a doctor, someone else to do it. Doesn't really like situations with lots of people. And so that's why I was like, let me go with you. Because I thought she's wanting to do it, but she's going to be super scared. And, she's not used to navigating with her phone and all that kind of stuff. But I was honestly really impressed, how well she handled it.
Yeah.
And how well she's been doing with it.
Yeah, I was just like, nope, I'm just going to do it by myself. I'm just going to, put my big girl panties on, so to speak, and just get out there and do it. And I did. And I loved it. First delivery, I was hooked. I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. It's perfect for me. I get to meet new people, which I do like meeting new people. I just don't really like having that customer service interaction. And so I get to meet new people. I get to hand them their food. They're happy to see me because I'm bringing them food. And then I get to say, have a nice day, and get back in my car, listen to my music, and take the next delivery. And it's just awesome. The best part about it is I can do it whenever I want. That is the best part about it. And don't think, we're not sponsored by Uber Eats, so don't think this is an advertisement or anything, but I genuinely enjoy it. It's perfect for me.
Yeah. Like I said, I've always loved delivery, so it's awesome to be able, it does sound like an advertisement.
It does.
It's awesome to be able to, to be able to flip the app on. It's just different than all the other deliveries that I've done have been just like I said, Domino's and Papa John's and all these, you're delivering. It's a restaurant. You're delivering one type of food. If nobody's hungry for pizza that night, then you're just standing there. Yeah. And then you're getting paid minimum wage or whatever. And then, so you're I'm here to drive. I'm here to deliver. And then there aren't any deliveries happening at the moment. They want you to go start washing the dishes. Go start folding boxes. Go start mopping the floor.
Yeah. And you're not getting paid enough to do
I'm
that.
supposed to be off at 9:00. Yeah, but we're busy. So you're not going to end up leaving till 11. I hate that kind of stuff. I've always hated it. It's fine for some people. I get it. I get their business model. I get why they have to do that, and stuff. But it's aggravating to me. So with this, it's was that yesterday? No, that was not yesterday. It was the day before. I think I was taking some deliveries, and it went down 620 for 2 deliveries. And then on my way back, they were doing road construction. They had moved 2-lane 620 down to 1 lane. And I had already hit the button to pick up a delivery, but ended up deciding to cancel it because I figured someone else could pick it up coming from the other direction, get to the restaurant faster, and get this person their food. Other than, me taking another 30 minutes to get to that restaurant.
Yeah. So. And also, see, the thing is too, that as of right now, Uber does not necessarily take into account traffic when they're paying you for the delivery. And I received an email yesterday that starting, I don't remember exactly when, I think it's starting the end of August, or maybe, I think it was August 20th, they're going to start taking into account things like that when they pay you. Yeah. And so I'm like, oh, finally. I've only been doing it for a little while, but even then, sometimes I get these deliveries where it takes so long because of the time that I'm delivering it and the traffic and then the distance, and they normally don't take that kind of stuff into account. Yeah. And so I'm like, this isn't worth it. I'm getting paid very, very little for doing this. Sometimes it can take me 30 minutes to an hour to take a delivery, and I end up getting paid
$4.
$3 and something.
And it's because of the traffic. You could have been there a lot quicker if it wasn't just...
If it wasn't traffic, right. And so, So yeah, I'm excited for August 20th to see just how this affects the pay. Because I love this job. I want to stay at this job. I don't want to have to try and get a different job. I love everything about this except the pay. And I feel like people, they think that we make tons of money doing Uber Eats. And it's really not.
Oh, you mean the people that are ordering?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The people that are ordering the food, they think that we make tons and tons and tons of money. And, you know, unfortunately, we really don't. It depends. You know, like if you luck out and you get deliveries that are just like 10 minutes away or, you know, 5 minutes away, and you just get like boom, 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 one after the other, then yeah, you can make bank. But,
well, that's the same with any delivery. I didn't really get that early on when I was working like pizza deliveries and stuff. But I started to catch on. I would notice that a lot of guys cherry pick.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of guys there, especially ones with seniority, and then you've got like a manager that's like the same age. That's not like the, you know, there's a bunch of 20-somethings, and then one guy gets promoted because it's always like the people that don't have a car that work the inside of a Domino's. And so, like, one of those guys would get promoted to assistant manager, and then they'd be a closing manager. And the store manager's not there, so you got like a 26-year-old running the store. And then his buddy is not going to get in trouble picking the good deliveries.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, just standing there and waiting for good stuff to come up.
Exactly, it's favoritism.
Yeah, so that doesn't really happen with this, but I'm saying the concept, because I noticed certain guys would make a lot more. But they were taking... See, I always like to take the long deliveries when I was working those jobs because I could be in my car longer and come back, you know, and I wasn't thinking about like, oh, if I take these 2 pizzas right here around the corner, I can get back and get the next ones really quick.
Exactly.
But because I was looking for like, how can I go from like the downtown Domino's, like the UT campus, all the way out into like Terrytown or something.
Yeah.
And take as much time as possible.
Get to listen to your music.
Stop and look at my phone.
Yeah.
You know, stop and get something to drink at the store.
Yeah, you were viewing it more like a leisurely
right, like
activity.
I was getting away. Like, yeah, like if I work in an office now, if my boss was like, hey, I need you to run to the Best Buy or something, you know, Walmart or something and get us printer paper. That doesn't ever happen, but like...
Yeah, if it were to happen.
I'm looking at it like, oh, I'm away from my desk. That's how I was viewing it. Like, I don't have anyone around me to supervise me. I'm out on my own.
Yeah.
So...
And so this is like really...
This is perfect.
This is perfect. And
no
it's
one
really,
micromanages you.
Yeah, and it's really like, I think of it as like a silver lining in our storm of chaos that we're going through right now. I feel like this could be something that really helps pull us out of the hole. And it's perfect for both of us because both of us are the type of people where we don't like to be managed. We like to be our own boss. And I feel like I definitely have the drive to make sure that I'm doing what I need to be doing at the times that I'm needing to be doing them.
Yep.
And I'm the one that decides what time that is. And I love that. So, I mean, this is like a silver lining in the storm, and I can't wait to see where this goes, how much money we could potentially make with this, how we can get our family out of debt, and really make a good life for our children. Because that's really like the most important thing to me, is like making sure that they grow up in a stable, financially stable, emotionally stable, physically, as far as physical health, stable household. So yeah, that's like, it's a dream for me.
Now, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, we've had a good conversation, but I'm looking at the computer here and it says disk space remaining for recording 0 hours and 5 minutes. So we gotta cut this off then, guys. I think that's about all we had on the list, actually.
Yeah, it is. And actually, we need to go work Uber Eats now because it's a lunch rush. So
we're doing this in the morning. So yeah, we're just like, let's go work or Uber Eats also, and then I'll edit this later and we'll throw it up, and you'll be listening to it now, but it will have been earlier. I was going to say yesterday, but I hope I can have this up today.
Yeah, hopefully it can be up today.
But, so I just, I don't know how to end it, though, because...
That's all right.
There's so much other stuff, though, because we were gone for so long. And
I know, but we can save that. Okay, we can save that for next time, guys.
I know. I just don't... I just don't want to lose the momentum. We're getting it back. We're getting the ball rolling with the podcast. And it feels good to be doing this again, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Absolutely. I've missed just sitting down and talking about everything. It's like a verbal journal for me.
Yeah, kind of.
So I get to just like lay it all out there. And, you know, even if nobody listens to it, it's kind of like therapy at this point. So anyway, we got to wrap this up, guys. Hopefully we will be doing another podcast next weekend. Hopefully. Cross your fingers. So yeah, we will see you guys later.
All right. And don't forget, you can check us out just about anywhere that podcasts are available. Over the amount of time that we were away, I kept getting emails that your podcast is now available on Google. It's now available on Spotify, all this stuff. And I kept telling Sarah, we got to do the podcast. We got to do the podcast. Now people can listen to us here and here. We're going to start getting like random hits. I haven't checked it in a couple of weeks, so I don't know who's listened to it or what. But if you're listening to it on the Anchor app, give us a thumbs up. It really helps us out. And we'll catch you next week.
All right. See you later. Bye.